See this episode's show notes for our unique promo code to get up to 2 months of free podcasting service with Libsyn when you sign up for a new account. Get your show on Apple and Spotify, get helpful stats, and all the support you need to sound your very best.
This is Jed MacKay, and you're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, loony listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode, Rebecca, I think we're just shy of the 350. The 350.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah. So you're with, of course, your High Priest of KHONSHU, Rebecca and Ray Rebecca. 350. That's pretty cool. But how are you? How good? How are things?
I'm good. Coming out the end of some stressful work. Things are a bit more chill, building up towards a holiday. So
yeah.
Not the one I was just talking to you about. I'm actually going away in 3 weeks' time. So,
oh wow!
Yeah,
nice.
a bit of a nearer holiday.
Not local,
and,
or just Europe, kind of.
I mean, that is local.
Oh yeah,
we're going to Barcelona by train.
Nice. Look, you are you're grating, that little thing in my brain because I just pop over to Barcelona, where it takes like 24 hours to go.
Paris, Barcelona.
Yeah, awesome. Wow. And have you been there before? Like,
I've not. Zoe has.
Nice.
But we were going to go further afield.
Yeah.
But I got annoyed at airline luggage allowance and just went, where can we go by train? But we're going to spend some time in the Pyrenees as well and do some stuff there. So,
Rebecca, you should have consulted me earlier. Travel hacks, for luggage. Number one, you've got to like stock up, so you've got to wear like 5 or 6 layers.
No, I'm not doing that.
Number two, the neck pillow, you stuff that full of clothes as well. Like,
yeah, I know, but there's still a limit. Like I could, but also I like trains. So
trains are good. Actually, trains are good.
Yeah.
I remember. This is years ago. I haven't traveled in forever, but when I was in Taiwan, you can go from.
Oh, I'd love to go there.
Taiwan's great. So there are 3 main cities: Tainan, I think it's Taichung is at the bottom, and Taipei at the top. Anyway, so I was traveling from the south up to the north to Taipei, and it was actually cheaper to catch the bullet train than to actually fly. But it's like that's perfect anyway because you want to see the
yeah.
So yeah,
I mean that's what we did. We did that with one of our America trips. I flew into Chicago and got the train down to San Diego for Comic-Con.
Gosh.
So nice.
That is
it's
so
a 3-day
cool.
train ride.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, how was the sleeping quarters? Were they?
We paid for the cheapest ones.
It's like
and they were
wooden
functional.
Oh, they're functional? Okay.
No, they were decent beds. Like they're basically like armchairs that folded out into beds.
Oh, that's all right. You could fall asleep like on a big reclining
they were
armchair.
flat. No, I mean no, they went flat. They were proper bed shaped beds. But and also what I didn't realize because it looks expensive to pay for a room in one of these trains because you can just pay for a seat and it's like a third of the cost. But when you pay for it, you get all your meals included. So we got to eat in the dining car, all these like 3-course meals. It was really nice.
Lovely.
Yeah. And you just you put with random other people and have nice little chat over dinner and sit in the viewing car and watch the American deserts roll past.
I just got visions, Rebecca, of like, is it Skyfall? And then half of the caboose blows away, and then you got Daniel Craig just jumping down. Just seeing his cuffs. No, that sounds awesome. Great, far out.
Yeah.
Barcelona would be great. I know there's a lot of I think it's in. Oh God, think it's in Barcelona, but like the Gaudi, a lot of architecture, like the really
yes, we're going to the Sagrada Familia, which will be more open than it was the last time Zoe went. So
it's like it's slated to finish like what 30 years from now or something. Like it's
yeah. There's just less scaffolding on it now, so at least you can see some of it.
That'll be amazing.
And I think next weekend have to try and book tickets to the Picasso Museum.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Well, loony listeners, this is not, for nothing. We all know that Moon Knight likes to globetrot. So Rebecca and I are
he's a traveling,
traveling Wilbury. We know that he likes to go, to Europe and stuff. So we're just kind of giving you that flavor. But yes, welcome. Of course, a huge thank you to our patronies. Again, a huge thank you to everyone there for helping us out. Previously, I had, because we've been less frequent, Rebecca, so had kind of turned. I absolutely love the patronage and the contributions that everyone has been putting on.
Yeah, look, everyone keeping the webpage ticking over, the Facebook group, the Discord. I've started chatting there a little bit more. But
you're a lot better than I am, Rebecca, and on Facebook, far out. You are keeping the porch light on.
Not really. I think we have a lot to thank. Once again, have a lot to thank Mario for.
Mario's fantastic. I made a May resolution, Rebecca, and that's to inject myself a little bit more into the Discord and stuff like that, because it is really fun to interact and kind of get up to speed with like what's happening with Moon Knight, because I've been out of touch for a little while. Fear not, loonies, we do have some news, so that's good. But
we do.
Our main event though, and we'll get to it soon in the main portion of the show, Rebecca and I will be looking at the latest and greatest, of course, from Moon Knight on the shelves at the moment. So it's Vengeance of the Moon Knight issue 5. So we'll be looking at that, Rebecca. Very excited. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. It kind of focuses on
it's interesting because interesting in comparison to the last episode.
Well, and we know like the format with Vengeance of the Moon Knight, it's pretty much like spotlights on a character, like the title is on a character. So this one is a very cool one. As always, there are going to be spoilers, so if you haven't read it, please do so, or if you don't care, just listen in. We're gonna
if you don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't care about spoilers as well.
Sorry, exactly. If you
don't care about things.
If you just don't care in general, then
go for it.
But it's going to be fun. We'll go through that, of course. Before that, we do have a bit of white noise, Rebecca. I'll let you lead off with what you told me, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't listen to many comics podcasts anymore, but one I listen to is the Comic Conspiracy. It's done by some guys who run a comic shop in California, and they're very DC biased, like very, very DC biased. But it's just they're usually pretty interesting to listen to. So anyway, in the latest edition, so that's the one for the 29th of April, they interviewed Sabir Pirzada about a comic he's got coming out from Image Comics, but he worked on the Moon Knight show and the Miss Marvel show, and he's the one helping Iman write the Miss Marvel comic. So there was more of the interview than I expected about the whole process of how he got to do the shows, what Moon Knight comics he loves. He's a big Moon Knight fan, which makes sense, right? But I didn't necessarily realize how big a Moon Knight fan he was. But he also talks about sort of how where they had freedom to not stick with the comic character and where they didn't, and some of the reasoning behind not making him mark a facsimile of the comic character, which I thought was really interesting. And he's really interesting to listen to. It's like a 20-minute interview or something. But I would say it's I don't want to try and repeat what he said, because I'll just get it wrong and upset people. But it was just, there was more about that than I thought there'd be, and less about than his own comic even. But it was really interesting.
Okay.
So
that would That would be actually. I'd imagine a lot of loonies would be very interested in that because we do know like the differing thoughts and perspectives of like the Moon Knight TV show and how different it is. So
yeah. I mean, I wasn't expecting him to talk about that kind of thing, but that was like it was one of the things that he was directly talking about, like, you know, his favorite runs and all the different versions of Moon Knight you have in the different comics, from like the hyper violent to the not so hyper violent, and not how they decided exactly. Like, he's not going to go into the details about why Steve was British and things like that, but like why they didn't feel the need to keep it as in the comics. And especially as in comments from Feige about like why it's not necessarily important to stick.
Wow,
to so,
I'll be very
and it was so that was kind of cool. There's a little tease. Go listen to it. They're
very
good
interesting
guys as well.
Well, I'll just talk to you after the show, Repair, and we'll chuck it onto the show notes.
I've got the link here, so I will chuck that in Facebook for you, and you can chuck it into the show notes.
As always, Rebecca's doing the homework. She's kind of carrying the show here. I'm just, I'm just copying and pasting.
No,
but no.
Ray has more fun news, perhaps.
Yeah, actually, a couple of So, segueing from that, I guess, Rebecca. People may know as well that Moon Knight has been the TV show has been released. So on physical format, so you can take it with DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever it is these days. I'm stuck in Blu-ray, Rebecca. I don't know. 4K.
I'm stuck in Blu-ray as well. We have a 4K TV now, but we've not really been buying for it. It was our projector broke, and we just went to get whatever TV we could to keep us going till we got a new projector.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up with one that happens to be 4K, but we didn't, it's a cheap 4K.
Well, Rebecca, to be fair, I don't own any 4K stuff, but you can. I mean, like I've said, you can tell the difference. Like one of we went over, and
I
it's
was
pretty nice.
actually very surprised that you can tell the difference, but you can tell the difference.
It's quite nice. It's quite nice.
So I'm not against it. Let's put it that way.
You're in a happy position. But yes, there is a release, and so I'm saying the Steelbook is out, so people are buying that, and the general release as well. It's pretty hard to find in Australia. I mean, I'm finding it very hard.
I just had a look now, and I can only see the Steelbook. So.
Yeah. So hopefully it will become more available as time goes on. But the thing is, segueing from the talk about TV show, people involved in it, there was an article with, and I think it's Meg, I can't remember her name. She's the lead costume designer for Moon Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked her because, there's this whole conjecture about Moon Knight, the complete season 1, it says. It doesn't say the complete series. It says so people thinking, that insinuates that there might be a season 2, blah, 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 blah.
Season 2, yeah.
Tell
us about that.
And I'm terrible. I could be totally getting a name wrong, but I think it's Megan. She did say, well, I haven't heard like anything. As far as I know, it's still what it is, just the series that we did, and we're very proud of it and that stuff. So there's a little bit of rumors, like there are a few rumors floating around.
They're like recurring rumors about it, and like I don't even know when we'd know.
Well, it didn't help that Muhammad Tayev and Oscar were on the boat.
Were cheeky and
but so Loonies, it is out there. I think it's easier to get if you are in the US, but I know in Australia it's a little bit more difficult. And as Rebecca, you said, in the UK, the Steelbook's only available. I say it's going for Australian $70 to $90, so it's pretty steep.
It's 45 here.
So. But it is out there, so be sure to pick it up if you can. I want to, I'm not going to pay $100 for it. That's all.
I mean that's where I am. Yeah. I just put it on my wish list for like if it ever reduced.
Exactly, and I'm sure it will be. Hopefully down the track.
Hopefully.
All the other ones.
I did buy the big hardback Moon Knight Art of the TV show.
Yeah. Oh yes, you did. I'm very jealous.
If anyone's in the UK, it's reduced and £30 at Forbidden Planet at the moment.
Oh wow. Okay.
Down from 45. I think I paid 32, so I'm not too upset about the fact they've knocked another couple of pounds off.
Because they're really beautiful books, right? They're generally
I haven't
very
actually looked
expensive.
at it yet because I bought it and then everything's been crazy since. But yeah,
Yeah.
they are beautiful books.
Yeah. Oh, we've got someone here. Listeners, podcast listeners, we are live streaming, so we do get live comments as they come in. Oh, Wayne Hunt.
Oh, Wayne. Wow, it's so good to hear from you.
Yeah, awesome. Wayne's a great friend of the show. He's contributed earlier on. If anyone just listened to his narration, I think a bare bones.
And some amazing artwork.
And of course, and his 100th episode, I've still got it, Wayne. It's on the desk. And Wayne says, "I'd love a cameo in the new Daredevil series, even just a glimpse."
Not wrong.
Yeah, leading into Moon Knight season 2. Love your work, guys. Love your work, guys, as well. Thank you, Wayne. I'd love. Oh, it's a stretch.
I know,
it's a stretch, though, Rebecca.
It's not. Is it a stretch? Well, I guess we didn't leave him in New York. But we're in New York. There's cab drivers.
True. Look, Wayne, I'd love that as well. I think, though, being the kind of measured, skeptic, we might get similar to what they did in Moon Knight, I reckon, Rebecca, where you talk that. In Moon Knight, didn't they talk about Wakanda or something? Oh, Madripoor. They talked about Madripoor.
They were like a couple of but very, very small references.
I reckon there might be hopefully some references to, this guy in Europe or something. I don't know, but absolutely, Wayne. And great, thank you for dropping in. Far out. It's always
that's
a
amazing.
smile on the face. So get that Blu-ray. Get the complete season 1. That's good. Also, as well, I noticed, Rebecca, for those that do like to get their complete collections, I'm going to chuck this on there. I'm on this website here, 13thdimension.com. They announced a whole lot of 2024 Epic collections, and we are getting a new Moon Knight Epic collection. It's the continuation of Mark Spector Moon Knight. It looks like the front cover will be the cover of issue 25, that Moon Knight Ghost Rider team up by Howard Mackie back in the day. And it says not reduced. I'm still thinking about that art book, Rebecca. It seems to be due out in October of this year, 2024, and it collects Mark Spector Moon Knight 8 to 25. So the a main portion of the first half.
It's a good chunk.
Yeah. Plus, also, I think the very first team up between Moon Knight and Punisher, which was in Punisher Annual issue 2 of 1988. So, so that's out. If you check out your LCSs or your distributors, I was about to say suppliers, Rebecca, but it sounds a bit dodgy. And see if you can get your pre-orders in for that. But no, that's pretty good, Rebecca, I think.
It's really good.
Yeah. So that's the news. Moon Knight has kind of dropped off a little bit, obviously ever since the TV show. But Jed is doing great guns in the.
He is,
book.
He is. Doing great guns.
Yeah, so we've got heaps to talk about, Rebecca. Shall we dive right into this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So yes, this is our Moonshine review, the latest and greatest from the stables, La Casa de MacKay, and of course Alessandro Cappuccio and Rachelle Rosenberg. We're going to be doing Adventures of the Moon Knight, issue 5, volume 2, if you really want to get that geeky. Rebecca, going to chuck this up on now. So this was released not that long ago. I haven't got the details here, Rebecca.
It was last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, so it's still pretty fresh. And as I mentioned, we're going to be spoiling it. It is a Blood Hunt tie-in, as you can see. So that's cool, but I don't think it really.
Or as we could even say, the Blood Hunt prelude.
Oh yeah, true. And it's let's just start off with the cover here, Rebecca. This took me back a little bit. I don't know. I'm just very impressed with whoever this is. I guess we'll find out when I move forward.
I can have a look.
David Paratore. Yeah,
cool.
But very cool. I mean, we know it's a shroud. Big spoilers, but I just love how Moon Knight and the Shroud kind of flows. Like it really plays onto that cape kind of thing.
That's really good.
And Tiger Greer, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good there. Struggling. But yeah, we do have some variant covers by Martin Kokolo and Jesus Bertov, Stormbreakers, and also by Phil Noto. I haven't seen them, Rebecca. Have you seen them?
No. I mean, I have, because I was in a comic shop on Wednesday.
Oh, you have.
But do I remember them? No.
I have. Yeah, I haven't. I was in as well. Oh, actually, also, Rebecca, for to mention, happy free comic book day, May the 4th. Yeah. Did you visit?
I did.
Yeah. How did it go? Anything special?
I didn't get all the ones I wanted, but because they do like grab bags, like mystery bags here. But I did get the Spider-Man Ultimates and the Blood Hunt one. I haven't read the Blood Hunt one.
Wow, great!
This says a lot. The Ultimates one is possibly the comic I'm most excited about this year. So I was very excited to get that one, and I may have done a bit of a little bit of punch in the air when I read it. So
oh wow, nice!
I am very looking forward to that. So
I stuffed it up, Rebecca.
It's baby Tony Stark. I mean, or Teen Tony.
Awesome.
Teen Tony.
Teen
and
Tony.
His two mentors are going to be Doom and Cap.
Oh.
Doom. And they're kind of the basic idea is the Ultimates are like a terrorist group,
right?
So it's pretty fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. So they were recruiting an extra member this time round, and they did it in a very cool way.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I am kicking myself for missing that, Rebecca. I took Finn there, and he dressed up in Ant-Man, which is pretty cool.
Oh, he's got sweet.
Yeah,
and he's so little.
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
My sister gave him that costume for Christmas, I think. So it was either that Iron Man or Spider-Man, and he wanted to Rebecca. He wanted to do Iron Man. He wanted to do Iron Man, but we couldn't find the suit, so we had to quickly.
That's fine. That's fine. He's forgiven.
Yeah.
No, that's adorable.
But we went to the store and had a great time. We didn't spend that much time there, but we stood in line. The line went by pretty quickly, and the lady at the door said, "Look, this is a queue. Just go down there and just state." Because they have the list of the comics and the number. They've got numbers. Just list your number, and they'll get you the comics. And I said, "Oh, well, how many kind of do we get? Because it kind of changes." And she goes, "Oh, you get 4." I go, "Cool." So I said, "Finn, why don't you pick 2, and I'll pick 2." And so we picked our numbers. We're all ready. We go downstairs. We go in front of the guy, and he goes, "Okay, so what do you want?" And we Wayne. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay. Wayne says, hit me up, guys. I'll see if there's anything left. Thank you, Wayne. Wayne is, he works at the greatest comic book in the universe, comic book store in the universe, King's Comics. Anyway, the guy says, okay, so what do you want? And I said okay, Finn. He said his 2 numbers. I said my 2 numbers. And he goes, well, okay, you got another 4. I go, what? He goes, you got another, you get 4 each. I go, oh. So I was taking.
Of course. Yeah.
So I just haphazardly Finn got 1 more and I got another 1 more, but I totally missed out on the Spider-Man one. I got the Blood Hunt one because I knew that, but I wasn't looking carefully enough at the Marvel release.
Well, I'm not really that interested in Spider-Man, which I know is a terrible thing to say, but I think I've said it before. I love Spidey.
Yeah.
I just find his number of comics overwhelming. So it's almost a bit like Batman, and I just switch off. Because it's just too much for me to follow. But I just wanted, because I've got the Ultimates on order anyway, and I always feel like if I've got the thing on order, then I'm much more likely to want the free comic book day king, especially as some they don't often reprint what happens in the main comics.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne. So there was a Transformers one which everyone wanted, and I don't know if anyone in London got, so I'm not sure. But I've ordered it because they're actually reprinting it next week as a proper comic, as in a non-free comic book day comic, which I think is pretty smart.
Yeah.
The Marvel are actually reprinting theirs.
Okay.
As a 2-in-1.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe all of them. Maybe Marvel Voices as well, and the kids one.
Wasn't there an X-Men one
for kids.
Wasn't there an
Yeah, it was X-Men.
I missed that one. Totally
And
forgot that.
no, you haven't. It's Blood Hunt. It's
Oh, is
Blood
it?
Hunt
Oh, okay. I got it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. The 2 Jed ones.
Okay.
And but I think they had a Spidey one as
Okay.
well. But they're doing a free comic book day one that they're selling later on
Okay.
this year. So that's kind of, if anybody desperately wants them, I mean, they should go online free. But my friend didn't get many of the ones he wanted. And then we tried for a kids bag later because my friend who works in a school library wanted some of the kids ones. And I think we only got one of the ones she wanted. So like we didn't do very well. But like everyone had Hellboy.
Oh
Stranger
yeah, I got
Things,
the
like
Hellboy
everyone.
one. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get
That
the
was funny.
Valiant, Rebecca?
No, I didn't even know it existed until I got home. I'm really mad
hey.
about that one. So again, yeah. Hey. There you
Rebecca
go.
was
Quick
just obscured
look
by a
at the.
huge tail that kind of swished
I wonder
in.
who that was. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I got the Valiant. They were the two that I kind of zeroed in on. I zeroed in.
I would have got that one.
Yeah. So I mean, but we were waiting in line, but I don't know. It just seemed like we should have calmed us. Oh, when I say we, like Finn and I should have calmed down and taken my time to have a look at the array.
There's so many that like we used to have a comic shop in London that used to let you pick from a list, and it was so good. And now they've all gone to these like, oh, you just get a random bag, and you know,
yeah.
it just wasn't.
That's a bit. Yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. I mean, so for us, we were allowed to choose, which was great. And Finn did
just get random bags,
Oh.
and it leads people to want to just keep going around and getting random bags, and that's dodgy. Like, that's not right. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Like we only did it to get the kids bag,
Yeah.
and because we were in town.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went, and then I spent money in the shops.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're about to get a tail again.
Yeah. For those with the video, the cats.
Those are the video.
Swishy tail.
Aussie is back in,
tail.
walk across the desk.
and Wayne says the Mad magazine. Oh, Mad magazine. I should have picked that one.
I have to look at that. I'm gonna look it up now.
The Mad magazine FCBD cover made him laugh out loud. I've got to check it out. I love Mad magazine. So
I used to love it. Oh my god, it's amazing.
Oh, you say, gosh, you're quick.
I'll post it in. Well, it doesn't take long to look these up. I'm going to post it in Facebook for you to look at later.
Cool. We are getting sidetracked, but just happy. Yeah, free comic book day. It's such a great event. I had so much fun over there. Got to chat with some of the staff over at King's, and it was buzzing. There, they had wanted to get the free caricature. We had a guy there that can
King's do really nice stuff for it though.
Really cool, but I think Finn, being 5 years old, he wanted to. Once he got his goodies, he wanted to hightail it out of there. So he wanted to inspect them.
Gosh was really good. They have they had things for kids in the morning.
Okay.
And then like a signing for adults in the afternoon.
Well, I was very pleasantly surprised with the cosplay as well, like with the demographic, kids, young and old. It was really good to see. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Anyway, we should get back to this, Rebecca. Vengeance of the Moon Knight issue 5. It is 8-ball, so I know it's 8-ball's kind of almost like a fan favorite with a lot of loonies, I would say, Rebecca. Jed has kind of taken him.
I mean, with everyone, who's his favorite scene? Because like, you come talk to me. Like, who doesn't like dude?
But yes, Jed's really taken it in his stride to bring 8-ball out into the forefront. He mentions it later here as well, but on Hearts Island, Rebecca. Hearts Island, your island.
Yeah, I mean, my island. We've already told him that's my island, so that's fine.
But yeah, 8-ball does his thing. He pretty much saves Moon Knight. He does a great thing. But this issue is 8-ball centric, and the format is similar to all the other ones that we've seen. Rebecca,
it's a little bit shorter because of the Blood Hunt stuff, but it may also kind of helps because there's probably not as much in depth to 8-ball as we need to go.
Yeah.
We'd like to, but
yeah, and again, it is a session. It basically, I mean, the synopsis for this would be it basically highlights 8-Ball and his thinking of turning around from being a criminal to like a would-be
that
hero.
sort of where's that line between hero, vigilante, and villain? I guess.
Yeah.
For some of these like sort of slightly minor villains, we should say.
Oh, but also the parallels as well, and I think it is done well with. So 8-Ball Session is alongside the confrontation between the Shroud against Hunter's Moon and Tigra, and the thing is there, Rebecca, as well. It draws back to how Mark has had an effect on these people, like be it 8-Ball, be it the Shroud, Max, Coleridge, is that right? And how he's affected their lives. And so what we see with 8-Ball is with Dr. Sturman, he talks about, if Mark can turn his life around, then so can I. And we have, on the Shroud's point of view, as he fights Tigra and as they just have this massive discourse while they're fighting, that Max is saying, Moon Knight's loved. And I kind of feel it was a little bit meta, Rebecca, with Jed's writing, because the Shroud saying, "Oh, yeah, Moon Knight's like so popular now. He's kind of loved and he's well respected." And I'm thinking, his profile has kind of risen. I think ever since the TV show and Jed's run, of course. But
I mean, look, the TV show brings different fans, right? I mean,
it does.
That's the thing. It's like and they're fans of a different aspect of the character.
Yeah, but Jed's run has been widely praised.
I mean, like we know it's done well.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was interesting. I think like Tigra is really on the nose for a lot of this. It's like why would you just carry on as the Shroud? Like what makes Moon Knight different? And Dr. Sturman is meanwhile kind of asking 8-Ball the same. So it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. I think it's really good. And what we essentially get in this story is basically the Shroud is kind of talked out of it. He's convinced. Like, there's a really nice moment towards the end where I'm jumping back and forth, but there's towards the end where he shares a moment with Tigra. Like, he kind of just like kind of crumbles and concedes that he wanted, because he's lost a love, right? And I think that's part of it as well. So there's a lot happening with Max. We were discussing last time as well, where was he like in the continuity of Marvel? And I think I mentioned last I saw him was in Daredevil, and he was a bit off. He was a bit off there. So he's been struggling with a lot of things, and he's always been, as 8-Ball says, he's always been kind of teetering on the bad and the good, on being bad or good. I think Tigra does a really good job to kind of bring that out of Max. But I guess what we see towards the end, and the beautiful again colors and the artwork, we see the Shroud loses control of his Dark Force energies. And so he's kind of, I don't know what he's doing there, Rebecca. He's kind of
I don't know either.
Whirlwindy, kind of tornado. Yeah, something's going. But
it's beautiful art.
It is. It's great. I love the purples, purples and the black, because that is.
Well, I think it's more. It seems something's being done to him, and the fact that we get the to be continued, and we know that Bloodhunt is messing with the Dark Force.
Okay, because
obliterate the sun.
Yeah, because I didn't know, right? So I couldn't make the correlation.
So all the Dark Force users are getting. So that this is your first hint, and if you go and read Bloodhunt 1, which you can, you find out a bit more, and that's where it becomes apparent that this is the prelude, to Bloodhunt.
I wonder if we'll get like insights into. I don't know what's happened to Cloak and Dagger. I always think I love.
You know what? I think they are mentioned. They are. Okay. I think. I don't know. I kind of scanned it in the shop, so I haven't properly read it because I'm gonna go back and read it properly. But Bloodhunt 1 is out, and obviously there's the free combo day, and I'm pretty sure they're mentioned.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got to get. There's so much to kind of get, Rebecca. I'd love to get Bloodhunt.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. I'm just thinking that maybe it has to be a digital, and then maybe it's a trade down
I would
down the road.
suggest
Yeah,
digital and trade and MU. I'd say Marvel.
yeah.
I'd say Marvel Unlimited, and also I guess we should talk about this now as well briefly. Is that like we'll still do the Moon Knight issues, but I think we should maybe either pull in talking about the event then, or talk about the event separately for the Hunter's Moon, because Hunter's Moon's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, yeah, so that should probably have been in the news as well. If you went and got the funky teeth things and the promo
yeah, Rebecca. Yeah.
there's a Hunter's Moon card and there's a Jed card.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm very, very luckily a friend who runs a comic shop grabbed me one and got me the Hunter's Moon one, and I said, if you could switch it for a Jed one, that would be great, but I'm more than happy to have the Hunter's Moon one. I know I'm just being cheeky. And he said he would see what he could do, but I have no idea which I will get in the post.
Okay,
so
wow, that's
exciting.
That's pretty good. Just make sure it doesn't get nicked.
I bought him a very rare signed variant from the UK.
Wow.
So he feels he owes me.
Oh,
but, he doesn't really owe me. So.
I love it. It's so funny. It's so nice and corny and gimmicky. Like what that photo that you sent.
Yeah,
the blood red fangs.
They're hideous. They're like so plastic and terrible.
Oh god, they probably harm you.
It's better than the cosmic cube they did for for the Secret Empire, which I have about 5 of. So
really?
People kept sending me cosmic cubes, and I was like, oh my god, and they glow in the dark, and I was like, they're all hidden in a drawer somewhere. So I got so sick of them.
Just kind of glowing, look in the corner.
Yeah.
Another thing that's glowing here, Rebecca. Again, I just want to call out the artwork here. We actually, far out, Rebecca. We've forgotten actually to go through. It is the same team, right? We're looking at So yeah. I don't want to have missed anyone if we had, but yeah, again, a really nice shot there of the shroud and just the use of the cape, and him swirling and the Dark Force energy. Tiger always drawn well. I love it. I love how she spits on him. Just, really so disgusted.
Actually, there's a lot. The Dark Force work here is incredible.
Well, he's going off the, he's just going off scale, isn't he? Like we know Shroud. I mean, what I know that he can do with the Dark Force is that he kind of makes things almost like snowblind. He makes things dark, right? And you're blinded, but he's not, and that's a whole kind of irony because he's blind. But he's doing weird, funky things here, and I guess that again is a little bit of a hint at what's happening with the Dark Forces. Things are going a little bit crazy. Over here, this shot over here, and again, sorry for those that haven't got the video, but if you have the comics,
I love that one.
Yeah, it's like he's floating, like he's wafting in a wave of this kind of dark purpley, Dark Force stuff.
It's just so good.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, the premise is that, and as you said, Rebecca, the tie-in, like, it has to kind of nod to that. Well, I'm kind of thinking, Rebecca, have you followed up with Gods, like Hickman's Gods?
No, I haven't. I've left that for Marvel Unlimited because it just seemed too much.
Because I'm wondering, whatever happened?
I had to cut down. I really enjoyed what I read of it, though.
In Moon Knight, that wall panel, like in the hospital beeping.
No, I literally blanked that out.
That was riveting. That was riveting stuff.
Oh, I totally blanked that out. That's hilarious.
It had the Hickman name on the comic issue for that one page.
That was one of the funniest things ever.
That was what popped in my head. I was just wondering, have you followed up on that? I hadn't followed up on it at all.
No, I haven't. Actually, you're right. I will see if that's out on Marvel Unlimited yet, because that's too funny.
But yeah, I mean, so that essentially is it. I mean, again, it's a similar format as we mentioned. 8 Ball in therapy session.
In the chair,
but it's kind of juxtaposed with some action happening outside, and generally, Tigra or Hunter's Moon doing the kick-assing, ass-kicking.
Big issue for Tigra.
Yes,
again, really coming to her own almost as a leader as the leader, not Hunter's Moon. Which is interesting and cool.
Yeah, I hope.
I mean, they seem like co-leaders, but she has this very very clear
Yeah.
sort of thing on it.
I just hope she does like get more time, like in books. God forbid, when Jed finishes this and the run is over and all that, and what happens, and someone takes it on, a future writer, maybe kind of keep Tiger in the mix, or have her back in the wackos.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the dream, right? We go to wackos.
Yeah, and I love the mention here as well because spot on for any of the loonies that would know, of course. The Shroud and Tigra and Moon Knight were all part of around the 80s West Coast Avengers. And there was a moment in, I think it was Rebecca, I think it was Avengers Spotlight or Marvel
Oh, was it?
2-in-1.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or where the Shroud kind of confronts Moon Knight.
Yeah. There was something, wasn't there? Yeah,
and says, "Do you want to join? Do you want to join us doing the covert stuff?" And he goes, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah. So loved it how Jed did that deep cut as well. So again, very respectful to the canon, and that's one of the strengths I think of Jed MacKay's run. Yeah.
And I do love 8-Ball being in the team. And I am surprised he wore his 8-Ball head throughout therapy, but
Can we mention, Rebecca? Can we absolutely mention? This is not the last page. The last couple of 8-Ball running with Reese and Soldier. 8-Ball
amazing
corner pocket.
That is so the best. It's beyond cheesy, and we love it.
It's beyond cheesy. There are vampires jumping from the rooftops. There are vampires with their claws out. 8-Ball
you can
shouts
see the
out.
skies being obliterated. I also love soldiers. I found the swords. Okay. And the sword's important. Fine. No.
And I think this is really good as well because we've had a spotlight for each of them, so it's not like, oh, where's Soldier been all this time?
It's worked out really nicely, but now we go to Blood Hunt, which I mean, to be fair, you do get the little prelude here about sun death.
About sorry?
About sun death. Go to the next page.
Oh gosh. Oh yes. God, I didn't read this, Rebecca.
I knew you. I literally knew you were about to say that. This is the literal start of Blood Hunt, which I seem to remember is actually repeated in the comic.
What is it? A couple of pages. Let's read it now. Sun death 000. This is how the world ends. This is my work. And not really. So great. So people listening, there's a blackout.
Superhumans, Dark Star Dust, Silhouette Cloak, all Dark Force users. They've become portals to the Dark Force dimension.
Oh, here we go. Look at all
they
the
can
Avengers.
block out the sun. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to read this.
And then we get a Tigra and Hunt. I can't believe you did.
I did. I just said it. Blood Hunt continues.
And then you get to see the Shroud being pulled into.
Right, that makes a lot more sense now. Awesome.
Yeah. Hunter's Moon very upset. They're also attacking the moon.
Yeah,
and then you get the May checklist for Blood Hunt.
Oh yeah,
so
I love this last page though. This last page is great.
Yes, it's really great, and also just Hunter's Moon getting annoyed at them covering up the moon. But then you get to the May checklist. So if you're going all in on
my
this
gosh,
event,
May
a lot.
Oh,
but
red
can I
band.
just highlight Union Jack the Ripper is the best title of a comic in ages.
Let me just go. So we'll go through this. So people that don't have the video, we've got the Free Comic Book Day comic, which we mentioned. We got this issue, which we mentioned. So Blood Hunt #1 comes out. Then we got Blood Hunt #1's the same thing, right? But it's red band. So it's
the same, but instead of them just being killed, they're like I won't say who's killed, but instead of them being killed, apparently you get to see them ripped apart and all their innards fly out.
I will be looking at that.
As one of my friends on Discord, that not the Moon Knight Discord, said, was there any sex? And the other was like, no, it's just hyper-violent. So for everyone who likes hyper-violence, you might want the you might want the red band ones, and they're doing it for each issue. So
I'm gonna check out the red band ones.
And there's some deaths in there. I will say.
Okay. Oh gosh, far out. Yeah, you're very good keeping a good poker face. So,
yeah.
Oh gosh.
I really wanted to just spoil that one, and I just thought,
no,
I just won't do that.
Wayne says about 8-Ball. How does he keep upright running? I have no idea. It's a heavy ball, I reckon. Surely
I reckon it's not. I reckon it's made of that packing material.
Oh, styrofoam.
Yeah.
God, not much
Styrofoam
protection. Yeah, maybe he should. Maybe he's consulted with Mysterio.
Maybe that's his superpower, is being
What?
able to function with a
Wow.
massive 8-ball on his head.
Got superhuman muscles in his neck, so
Yeah.
that's his
Yeah.
thing. Yes, but so we get Blood Hunt. There's Amazing Spider-Man. It goes to Avengers, Blood Hunters. I'm hoping there's
Yeah,
also
that's gonna
Bloodstone.
be, each event they do like a little anthology one that's got short stories about various people's.
Fair enough.
I know the first one has Hawkeye in, but I don't know who else it has in. But yeah,
cool. Doctor Strange, Dracula. Look, I've got nothing against the title, Rebecca, but probably the least one I'd get would be Strange Academy, Blood Hunt.
a lot of people really love No, because the least one I would get is Venom.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, Strange Academy, yeah.
Yeah, and then Amazing Spider, and as Rebecca said, Union Jack the Ripper. Black Panther makes an appearance. Contribution here, as well as Midnight Suns. So that's cool. That's a lot in May. Wayne also says, what do you guys think about $400 worth of comics for the new event? Too much, not even including variants.
Way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
That is a lot.
And to go back to you, Ray, Dagger is in Blood Hunters.
Oh, yes.
And
Cloak?
also Manwolf.
Manwolf?
Yeah, so
John Jameson.
Because Cloak is missing in action, as you just saw from that little preview. But Dagger, Manwolf, yes.
Nice.
And Hawkeye Clint is in issue 1 of Blood Hunters. So each one of them is a little anthology.
Yeah, cool.
It's not like a team up of them. Okay. It's like stories of each of them. So
okay. No, that sounds good. Yeah, it is. You're right, Wayne. It is a lot.
I'm sorry. I love Jed. Yeah. I think it'll be a fun event, but this is a lot.
I want to read it all. Let's just say that, but I don't think I'll be able to fork it out. Fork out the cash.
No, I'll read it all after the event.
Yeah, I will immerse myself in it because it looks so much fun. But it's hard to. So maybe the main titles, maybe Blood Hunt, of course, Moon Knight, and then maybe Blood Hunters. Maybe I'll get. Maybe that's it. Maybe then Midnight Suns and that. Oh, Union Jack.
Dagger and Elsa have teamed up in.
Okay.
I mean, that's a given for you, right?
Okay, that is a given. Yeah. Nothing better than British, monster killers. Wayne also mentions, "Where's my Howard the Duck Blood Hunt spin-off?"
He's not wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on, he fights a vampire cow, and he does. And I want to see more Quack Fu, So. We're just gonna wait and see.
I'm wearing my Howard the Duck T-shirt right now, so
nice. Yeah, cool. Howard the Duck is severely underrated. So yeah, so that's great, Rebecca. Thank you for enlightening me with those extra pages that I did not see at all.
There was something else that happened wasn't it? And neither of us had read it, and it was like, oh yeah, I didn't even know it. We were so behind on reading Moon Knight. It's like, quick, let's read it. And then it's stop when the Moon Knight issue seems to end.
But I've really got to look. I mean, so again, you can see a vision here of the Shroud just kind of half decimated or something. He's being twirled away. So it looks pretty cool.
It's
yeah. I was wondering, Rebecca, you were mentioning, this leads into Blood Hunt, and I'm thinking, well, it didn't really, there's little the vampires at the end, Rebecca, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad we cleared that
up. But Rebecca, issue 5, what would you give this issue for Vengeance?
I give it an 8, I think. It felt a bit more propelling the plot forward than the last one.
It did, didn't it?
Because I guess you got to see the resolutions. I still kind of wish we had less Blood Hunt and more 8-ball, but I think it tied up satisfactorily for me.
Yeah.
So I am now ready. Oh God, there was another bit of news. According to Amazon, Vengeance of the Moon Knight second volume is 5 to 9. So there is some speculation that might be, or whatever it was. Was it 5 to 9?
Yeah. It's another 5. Yeah. So yeah. So that would be it.
Takes us to the end of I think we all think we're gonna So Amazon started listing Vengeance of the Moon Knight as issue X of 9, and then volume 2 is 5 to 9. So we're thinking that Vengeance may be a 9-issue run.
It's a bit of a weird number, though, isn't it? Is it?
It is a weird number. It is a weird number.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're all thinking that like that it's just going to lead into another Moon Knight run, right?
Yeah.
I know. I can't remember what Mario's speculation was for the name for the next one.
Yeah.
But it was another reused name.
Okay.
And that we'll just go into that, and that'll be Mark back.
Right.
So we'll see.
That was my only defense, Rebecca. That there should be more. My only defense was it's a weird number, isn't it? Like they can't stop it. They can't stop it.
I'm certain it's not going to stop there.
Yeah,
so.
12. I understand. 12, 14. We've seen that happen. So, yeah, maybe 14. Another 5 issues after. Who knows? Who knows? So 8 out of 10. Yeah, look, I would give it. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you can't fault this series, right? The previous series and Vengeance, Jed is right on his game. Amazing that he's able to do this with the gazillion other titles that he's working on.
He's juggling, yeah.
And he's keeping the level up here. So, yeah, I'd give it a 7.5, maybe towards an 8 as well. Because I mean, we had the big reveal of the Shroud, but yeah, you're right. He makes it more than just about the reveal. It's an interesting here, and we get the really nice interaction between him and basically Tigra. I mean, Hunter's Moon does nothing, right? He just kind of waddles about in the background. But then coupled with that, we get 8-Ball and Dr. Sandman, and I think 8-Ball has some really great. It's really great to hear from him, and where he comes from, because he's been a joke to most of us for a long time, and he's slowly building credibility, and people have gone to love him because he's, this previous criminal now kind of trying to turn good. So, so Wayne has mentioned here, do you guys think that the event will disrupt the current Vengeance run? I remember loving the Uncanny Humans. James Asmus,
Civil War
I think,
2
until Civil War,
derailed
it. Yeah, James Asmus, I think, was in Uncanny Humans. Fantastic. I enjoyed that a lot.
We're big Inhumans fans.
Yeah, Rebecca, do you think it will derail? I mean, sometimes you can kind of you can skirt around the event pretty.
I think that there will be a little bit of derailing, but we have one big advantage, which is that Jed's writing both. And that he was writing Vengeance before he was writing Blood Hunt. I very much think that whatever we feel about events disrupting things, as we kind of saw in this issue, he'll be able to stick mainly to the Moon Knight storyline. So like gel our gang more into a group, how they work without Moon Knight and without a fixed enemy that we know about. So this will be more the vampire enemies. But there will be some thing that pulls it through, because he did quite well with what was the other one? The one where Moon Knight was in prison.
Oh, Devil's Reign.
Devil's Reign.
Yeah.
That didn't disrupt things too much.
No,
so I think there'll be something, but I do think that the big advantage we have is that Jed's writing the event and planning the event.
No, agreed.
Because he's also writing all the Avengers stuff for it as well, and so he's writing a good portion of the event, and I think that will probably protect Vengeance from being too derailed. But the fact that it looks like it's now going to finish when the event finishes is the other thing that gives me some confidence that whatever the Moon Knight gang is doing lead up to wherever he wants to tell the story next.
Yeah. Totally.
So I hope not, because that is the worst thing.
Exactly. And Wayne, oh my gosh, you mentioned Civil War 2. Let's not mention those words in this temple, please, Wayne. Civil War 2, absolutely. Look, I'm going to have to hold my tongue with that. That was a terrible event. Wayne also said, I'm just enjoying them fleshing the character. Yeah, absolutely. This is brilliant. I think this is really great. And Jed is keeping with it by having these sessions with Dr. Sturman. So Wayne is saying, I'm just enjoying.
He's been able to like flesh out the characterization. We've still had the action. I hope now we see a little bit more action, but see how they gel together. and also have that. Oh, you know what would make this better if we could get KHONSHU on side and free KHONSHU.
Yeah.
And once KHONSHU's free, we know Resurrection's back on the cards, etc.
Yeah, no, and I think, Wayne, what you're saying here, you don't want to read them as in Blood Hunt as shallow paper cutouts. I think, as Rebecca says, I think the big draw card is that Jed's riding both, so it's not going to be like it's going to be handed over to whoever's helming Blood Hunt, another rider, and
but it's still
no
a
idea.
concern.
No, fair enough.
I wouldn't say I'm not concerned. I think we'll know a lot more once we've read the next issue.
Yeah, well, it's pretty. It's hard, isn't it, Rebecca? Because you either make them front and center, and you play to your strengths, what Jed does, but then you've got a bigger cast you got to deal with, and you can't just have your favorite toys, so to speak, just taking over the whole event. You want to be able to make it seem like a global event. So, but yeah, you're right, Wayne. It is a concern, and Rebecca, but yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. In Jed we trust. I think that's what Mario said.
That's what it has to be for now. Yeah. until proven otherwise.
Exactly. I can neither confirm or deny any of the allegations.
Yeah.
So listeners, again, another very solid issue from Jed, doing really well. Rebecca, looking forward to our next foray into Vengeance.
End of June
should be good.
What else have you been? You've been recording some other podcasts. What have you been? Tell us what you've been doing, Ray. Your new projects and things.
Oh, look, no. I've recorded just another episode with good friend Justin, Predator and Prey, the Yahucha podcast. So
nice.
we're reviewing Ed Brisson's, another great writer.
Nice.
His issue 2 of The Last Hunt. It's his third Predator series. He's done two minis prior.
Nice.
And this one, I think Justin did confirm it's a 4-issue mini. So we talked about issue 2, which is really cool. That will be up soon. I have recently recorded again with co-host Saren with To Know Her Is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. We're going through Stephen Fox's pretty solid, I'd say, Rebecca, run on Spider-Woman. Really cool. I was really taken aback. The last one that we did, and we have to catch up because I think a new issue's come out, but the last one that Saren and I did was Spider-Woman just teamed up with Spider-Boy, Bailey Briggs.
Oh, cool.
And at first I thought, oh my gosh, this is just a total kind of marketing sham. But there are a lot of parallels with the character between Bailey and Jess and Bailey and Jess's son, Jerry.
Interesting.
Yeah, really cool. So,
cool.
Yeah, so go check out that as well. And Rebecca, yeah, I do some gaming as well. So Ray plays games. I'm on YouTube. I'm currently in a tournament, week 1 tournament.
Nice.
It's just for fun, but it's a huge community for Marvel Legendary, and I've entered this tournament. I'm having heaps of fun. Haven't pulled out Moon Knight yet, because once you use the hero, you can't use them again. So I'm saving him, for the big serious stuff. But yeah, also as well, Scarlet Spider as well. I recently did again another thing with Phil and Dave, and we talked about Christopher Yost's Scarlet Spider series, which has been pretty good. That was back in the early to mid 2000s, so not that long ago. But yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. Just before I ask you, Rebecca, as well, what you've been up to. So one says, I'm just enjoying them fleshing the characters out in the new run. Oh, hang on. He's done that already. I've already done that. Wayne, I've repeated you. Anyway. Sorry. I thought I saw something blip in my screen. I thought, okay, another new message.
That's adorable.
Rebecca. So yes, apart from getting blood red fangs and getting little Moon Knights, what have you been up to?
I've done the DCAU podcast. We're coming to the end of it. So
I remember there being like a kind of a finite kind of thing
Yeah,
to it,
yeah.
right?
'Cause
Alan was
there's only
saying there's
so
only
many
so
of them.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah. So
amazing though that
we've
you've
got
you're going through all of them.
Crisis on Infinite Earths left to go.
And how? Yeah, good. Is it? I'm trying to read your face there, Rebecca.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh,
I
you
haven't
haven't?
watched it
Okay,
yet.
go on.
But,
Okay.
we just did Merry Little Batman, which was up and down. They're all a bit up and down, honestly.
Yeah.
But
It's
it is what it
amazing
is.
that you've kind
Yeah,
of gone through the whole kind of collection. Jeez.
yeah. We really have. It's crazy.
Yes. Oh, I should also mention. Sorry. I do. I return to Krypton. So I did team up with Connor, a previous host, on the last Sons of Krypton. So I'm on the latest episode
Oh,
there.
cool.
Yeah. So myself, Connor, and Dave, we talk about Panic in the Sky. It's a '90s Superman.
Oh, yeah. He was telling me about it.
Yeah, it was interesting. So, yeah. So, listeners, again, thank you so much for listening. It's been a blast. You can always keep the conversation going by contacting us on email at feedback@itkmoonlight.com. We've got the website, itkmoonlight.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, Discord. And again, a huge thank you to the Patroonies for contributing, for allowing us and for us being able to maintain a website as well as costs for the show and everything. I will try to get back on track, Patroonies, with more incentives for you as well. So please bear with me, but really do appreciate everything that you guys have done.
Mm-hmm.
We got one more. Thank you, Wayne. You are a star, Wayne.
You are a star.
Yes, thank you. No, thank you so much for tuning in, Wayne.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah,
yeah.
What a nice surprise.
Yeah, and thanks so much for. I love having that conversation. Live comments, they're fantastic. Rebecca, it's been great as always.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Yes,
soon-ish.
Absolutely. And with that, as always, my KHONSHU, watch over the denizens of the night. I'll catch you later. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.